We are here today across from the Trump Hotel to call on the U.S. government to do everything in its power to bring about an end to this war, to compel Israel to surge food into Gaza, and to bring the hostages home. Like the destruction of the temple, this disaster won't end in a day or a week or a month. Ending the war is only the first step in containing this disaster. We also need a political solution that guarantees that both Jews and Palestinians can enjoy their human rights, can live in safety, and can have the same right to self-determination. Today, the temple is burning. But the good news is that more Jews around the world than ever are crying out for safety and justice for both Palestinians and Israelis. Together, we can move from disaster to consolation and then redemption. It's now my pleasure to invite up my friend and colleague, Audrey Sassoon, the Executive Director of JFRED.
Thank you, Amy. Thank you, Jill. We're gathered tonight in heartbreak and horror to cry out with one voice and to say, in the name of all that is holy, make it stop. Since October of 2023, the Israeli government has been waging a relentless campaign of terror on the people of Gaza. They have shown over and over and over that they're willing to use the real grief of hostage families to manufacture consent for their terror, and are more than willing to abandon those hostages to achieve their primary goal: the destruction of Palestinian life, past, present, and future. Now, nearly 2 years into their shameful genocidal onslaught, we are seeing the dam of public opinion finally begin to break. More and more people are breaking their silence and taking action. They are demanding, like all of you here, an end to the blockade, an end to Israel's policy of mass starvation, and an end to the ongoing ethnic cleansing of Palestinians. If you're feeling that this change is too late, it's because, of course, it is. Tens of thousands, maybe hundreds, of Palestinian lives are gone, wiped off the face of the earth. Entire families gone. Entire neighborhoods, infrastructure, hospitals, schools, gone. We have seen things we can never unsee already. And now we're seeing human skeletons, desperate for a bag of flour, their family members risking life and limb at distribution sites where they're as likely to get gunned down by snipers as they are to return to their loved ones with the slightest morsel of relief. The cruelty is unfathomable, and yet we've watched it go on for months upon months. It should never have come to this. But that is why we must steer this tipping point toward real action. There is no time to waste. We have a responsibility to welcome this shift and do everything in our power to leverage it to advance concrete policies from this U.S. government that can bring real relief and justice to the people of Gaza now. Which is why I am so grateful to be with you all tonight. We need to invite more and more and more people in. We have to encourage them to listen to the voice inside of them that knows that there is no justification for what they are witnessing, no matter how many more lies the Netanyahu government and its twisted war criminal collaborators put out.
Yes.
It is genuinely, astonishingly mind-bending understanding to listen to people deny what is so plain to see. And what is plain to see is that Israel is starving Gaza with impunity, just as Israel and the settlers commit atrocities in the West Bank with impunity. It starts with dehumanization and decades of apartheid and ethnic cleansing, and now here we are, all in the name of supposed Jewish safety. But we know it does not make us safe, and more to the point, it is depraved, and it cannot go on. We already know that we will be haunted by what has been done in our name for generations to come. We will have to reckon with that. But what we do today matters in that reckoning. Being public matters. Being out here in numbers matters. When people see others taking action, it can unlock something powerful inside of them to step in and join us. And we need sustained and escalated action to save lives and end this genocide. Your job, each and every one of you, moving forward, is to ask yourself and keep asking yourself, what concrete action can I take today that will further the cause of Palestinian justice? What, even if it feels uncomfortable, what can I do today that can further that justice? What am I willing to risk? And who else can I bring along, importantly, so that God willing, inshallah, we can end this nightmare. If this isn't the time to have those hard conversations and to take those risks, when is?
That's right.
Last but certainly not least, listen to your Palestinian neighbors. Listen to Motaz, and listen to Murad, and listen to the Palestinians in your life, and especially those on the ground who are risking their lives to show us what international media has been prevented by Israel from documenting. But again, also listen to Palestinians right here in New York who've told us from the beginning where this would lead. Your Palestinian neighbors have been speaking out for decades and have been watching the annihilation of their people and the obliteration of Gaza on a live stream for nearly 2 years, while their own government right here sends billions in weapons to carry it out. Our own history of dehumanization teaches us nothing, if not that we must stand with Palestinians during this time in outrage and solidarity. Motaz wants to add something. I'm going to close by saying, at JFREJ, we believe that none of us can be free until all of us are free. This is not just something that we say. It is a principle on which we act. In that spirit, let us act together so that Gaza may live, so that Palestine may be free.
You know, I got jealous, you know. I wish, but I got jealous that at least here you are caring about your people, even the people who are hostages. But for sorry, since the genocide started, nobody spoke about the Palestinian prisoners inside the Israeli occupation prisons. No one. No one in the streets even mentioned them. The people who disappeared from Gaza. Do you know how many missed people from Gaza now? Nobody knows if they are being killed or are in the, nobody knows. Nobody, where are they? Nidal Louhidi, the journalist. We don't know where is he. Haytham Abdul Wahid, my friend, a journalist, he disappeared. We don't know where is he. If he's killed, he died. Like they put him like in prison. Nobody mentioned about this, and I got jealous. I'm sorry. I always speak my reality, despite it's like people like it or not. This genocide, it changed us. It changed how we see the world. It made us hate the world. I'm sorry. You can't love the world after you lose all of your family and your people. You'll never do. This is a human nature. if you take all the loved ones from him. So please don't forget the people about the Palestinians who are in the Israeli occupation prisons. Nobody mentioned thing about it. We don't know even to ask how to know their destiny. Where are they? What their situation? The first video that we saw from the Israeli occupation prisons about our prisoners, what was it? A dog raping a Palestinian. They made a dog raping a Palestinian prisoner in the Israeli occupation prisons. This is the first thing that we saw. Please, as you mentioned about God, please remember our prison, our hostages inside the Israeli occupation prisons. Please, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Nakba. Everyone for everyone. And with that, I'm looking for you, Gilly Getz, Israelis for Peace. You're up.
Thank you, Audrey. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Jews save!
No more!
Jews save!
No more!
Jews save!
No more!
My name is Gilly Getz. Israeli Jews say no more as well. Israeli Jews say no more. I'm grateful to this amazing Jewish coalition, to Palestinian speakers, and all of you who came here together to say enough! Israelis for Peace and Friends of Standing Together have been protesting every Sunday in Union Square against the mass indiscriminate killing, the bombing of the people of Gaza, for a hostage deal to bring the Israeli hostages back and to release the innocent Palestinian prisoners in Israeli jails with no indictments and no evidence, for a hostage deal against the occupation and settler and state violence in the West Bank. Hakol kashur le'akol, we say in Hebrew. Everything is interconnected. Please join us if you can every Sunday at 5 p.m. at Union Square. Every voice matters. Our numbers matter. We in Israelis for Peace protest and hold vigils in full solidarity with Palestinians and Israelis who are speaking up against this war, protesting, marching, and writing against this war, against this starvation, the occupation, and for a hostage deal. Those who are being beaten, arrested, and terrorized and vilified for speaking for humanity, and those whose lives and futures are being destroyed by supremacist ideologies of hate and violence. This Sunday was particularly hard for us. My dear friend and friend to many in our community who deeply touched our lives, a Palestinian teacher, writer, peace activist from the village of al-Khair, Auda Hatalin, was murdered last week by a well-known settler terrorist in cold blood, on video, in broad daylight, with absolute impunity. Shame! 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 Auda was murdered as part of an ongoing ethnic cleansing of Masafayata. Auda was kind, brilliant leader, a beautiful human being who modeled joint nonviolent struggle. He was murdered. His village is being terrorized as we speak. His family is denied the dignity of a proper burial. We joined this family in the village in demand that the Israeli government allows a proper funeral and justice. His murderer, just like his life under occupation, epitomizes a system of apartheid in which people like Auda are stripped of their basic humanity, their basic rights and dignity, a system of dehumanization. This very system that produced Ben-Gvir and Smotrich, who are preventing a hostage deal and call for even more killing and destruction. Shame! overwhelming support by both the Israeli public and the security establishment that support ending the war and bringing the hostages back. That includes recently 19 former Israeli security chiefs from Mossad, Shin Bet, military, and police. This war is no longer about security. It's no longer even about revenge. It's about annihilation, genocide, as named by another former Israeli general, and the formation of a dictatorship from the river to the sea, the destruction of democratic structure and oppression of all Palestinian and Israeli Jews who oppose the regime. Shame! 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 Both Israeli hostages and soldiers, and as well as 18,000 Palestinian children, are paying with their lives for this dark vision that will keep no one safe or free. Not in Gaza, not in Palestine, not in Israel, and not here in America that's complicit with these crimes. We demand that Trump and the world force an immediate hostage deal. The hostages are being sacrificed, tortured by Hamas, and dying in Gaza in order to prolong Netanyahu's political survival. It's horrifying to see the videos of Gaza and Rome starved by Hamas. It is horrifying to see million women and children in Gaza being starved by Netanyahu-made famine and being shot to death when trying to simply get food to eat from a so-called distribution centers. The mass dehumanization of an entire population is a direct assault on our Jewish values, our shared humanity, and the memory of the Holocaust. We are witnessing the collapse of the very institutions that were built after the Holocaust to prevent another genocide. As a Jew, I know what mass dehumanization leads to. I know it led to the Holocaust. I know it led to October 7 when Hamas butchered our people. I know it's now being used to justify genocide of the people of Gaza and murdering of my friends in the West Bank, of the hostages and soldiers being sacrificed for Netanyahu. I want to call from here, let me end with this. I want to call from here to those in our Jewish community who know all this, who know that we are witnessing and complicit in what historian David Myers called the most profound Jewish moral failing of our time. But those who know but have not yet spoken up or joined us in protest. I know Hasbara culture is demanding that we deny, minimize, and justify the atrocity it does in our name. In the name of Jewish safety. It's exploiting the fear of rising anti-Semitism and the trauma of October 7 in order to convince us to give up parts of our humanity. Shame! 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 In order to intimidate and bully. So we are forced to desecrate our most cherished Jewish value of B'Tselem Elohim, to betray Hashem. But to save the hostages and end the atrocities, we need you to speak up. We need an overwhelming campaign of pressure to save those who can still be saved and to save our souls. We need to say, no more!
No more!
No more! that will haunt us for generations to come. We must act now, anywhere we are, in any way possible. It doesn't have to be this way. There is another way. There is another wall that we can build from the river to the sea, where everyone equal, safe, and free. In Israel, Palestine, here in America, here in New York, together and around the world. Thank you for being here. No more. It's my honor to introduce a great rabbi of a beloved CBSD community, Rabbi Jason. It's an honor to introduce you.
Thank you, everyone, for being here tonight. For years, I have thought and taught that Judaism is not about the world as it is. It is about the world as it could and should be. Yet the more I have returned to this guiding principle, the more I have realized that there has to be more to it. To envision the world that could be and should be, we must first observe the world as it is. We must be honest with ourselves. We must name what is right in front of us without euphemism and without apology. The past 2 years have been a horror of displacement, of life-altering casualties, of slaying tens of thousands of people in Gaza in the guise of a war whose goals were elusive at their best and seem more and more focused on erasing Palestinian people than actually fighting for anything that looks like Jewish safety. And right now, fellow Jews are starving Palestinian people in Gaza. Each time I say it, it stings. And I hope it stings to hear it because it is real and it needs to end. Just as 22 months ago, so many Jewish New Yorkers woke up Shmini Atzeret morning with an unbelievable blow to our extended family. Today, we must call on that very same extended family to stop starving people in Gaza. This is a hard truth we must face without whataboutisms, without both sides-isms. Fellow Jews who have the power to do otherwise are bombing Gaza, are shooting people in Gaza who are seeking food, and are starving people to death in Gaza. 12 days ago, I returned from about 3 weeks in Israel, in Palestine. I see the faces of my friends and their children in an ongoing human-made tragedy in Gaza that must end. As a rabbi, I implore all my fellow Jews and Jewish leaders to act, and to act right away, and do everything we possibly can to save every life. As an American, I want to implore President Trump and Congress to stop enabling the collective punishment of the Palestinian people. You know, it seems like it's been really, really easy to supply Israel with weapons. I have a feeling it would be much easier, much kinder, better, and the obvious right thing to do to supply everyone in Gaza with nutrition, with medicine, to give them life now. Please stop starving people. Please stop murdering people lining up for food for their families. Please let Gaza live. Ana Adonai Hoshiana.
Ana Adonai Hoshiana.
Ana Adonai Hatzlichana.
Ana Adonai Hatzlichana.
For the sake sake of Abraham, the ancestor of our people, whose tent grew larger and larger to accommodate anyone who is away from their home, let Gaza live. For the sake of my American friend, my American nurse friend, who was planning to volunteer in Gaza to provide health care, who just last Monday was the first person to give first aid and CPR to Auda Hathalin in El-Khair, and who was subsequently arrested and deported for this, trying to save his life. Please let Palestinians live. Let Palestinians live. For the sake of Eviatar David and Ron Braslavsky and 18 more people and their families who Prime Minister Netanyahu and his government have summarily abandoned, and the thousands of Palestinian people taken prisoner by Israel, whose names we know and names we don't, disappeared one by one, dozens by dozens, hundreds, thousands of them. Let Gaza live!
Let Gaza live!
For the sake of the safety of Jewish people around the world, whose history and future are bound to that of our neighbors, let Palestinians live.
Let Palestinians live!
For the sake of a world that utters never again and is judged by whether or not we really mean it, let Gaza live.
Let Gaza live!
Thank you. It is my great honor to introduce Simone Zimmerman from the If Not Now movement.
Let Gaza live! Let Gaza live! My name is Simone Zimmerman, and I'm a co-founder of If Not Now. I'm standing here today holding the memory of Auda Hathalin, a beloved father, teacher, and human rights defender from El-Khair, beloved by so many in this community. Murdered by a settler who remains free, while Israel denies Auda's body its burial rights and has disappeared members of his community in their torture prisons. Auda's murder is not separate from what's happening in Gaza. Let's be clear. It's the same regime, the same logic, the same goal. A land without Palestinians. This is the continuation of the Nakba. Shame. We are here to demand an end to the horrors, but we also must face a terrible fact. We are too late to stop the obliteration of Gaza. A home to more than 2 million people. A place that now has no universities, no functioning hospitals. The largest child amputee population in the world. Shame! And thousands of families wiped off the face of this earth, off of the books. This is a genocide. And as B'Tselem warned last week, there is a clear and present danger that this genocide will not remain contained in Gaza. The mindset driving it threatens all Palestinians under Israeli rule. We knew Israel's plan. Its officials told us themselves. They promised no food or water would enter Gaza from the beginning. They called Palestinians Amalek. They said they were continuing the Nakba. They celebrated it. Netanyahu, Herzog, Gallant, Ben-Gvir, they all belong in The Hague. But instead, they've been welcomed in Washington and in far too many of our Jewish institutions. Experts warned that the siege on Gaza would lead to starvation and death. Palestinians cried out to the world to stop it. Doctors, human rights leaders, humanitarian groups, genocide scholars, they all warned us. We all heard them. It's been almost 2 years, and here we are. Thank you for being being here, standing against this reality. We need you. We need every single person here, and we need you to help us double and triple our numbers. If being here today feels risky for you, I want to challenge you. Risk more. Risk more. What hard conversations can you have? What silences can you interrupt? What institutions can you challenge? Think about it. We need you to take those risks. We are nearing the month of Elul. Let this be a time of reckoning. If you supported Israel's campaign after October 7th, how will you engage in teshuvah? This fire was never about the hostages. It has not made Israelis safer. It has not made a single Jew anywhere in the world safer. No one of us is safer because of Israel's crimes. To decry the famine, but not the genocidal campaign that caused it, is hypocrisy. Let's be clear. To chant "Let Gaza live" without supporting material consequences against the state that is killing Gaza is hypocrisy. So what more can we do to end this genocide? What would it take to let Gaza live? It must start with a permanent ceasefire and an end to the siege. But how do we get there? No more weapons to Israel. No more aid. And then we need accountability. We need boycotts, divestment, cheer. This is what the Palestinian freedom movement has long been asking of us, and it's long past time for us to listen. All of us, please. That is how we will get to an end of apartheid. Because Jewish supremacy will never, ever bring safety or justice for anyone who lives in that land. If this is your first protest, thank you. If this is your 100th protest, thank you. I know we are all exhausted, angry, hurt, heartbroken. I want to say I feel a little stronger today seeing you all here. Thank you for being here. I'm going to close with some words from the Palestinian writer Sarah Aziza, whose cousin Ibrahim was just shot by U.S. mercenaries trying to get a bag of flour for his family in Gaza. His leg is shattered by specially made Israeli bullets meant to destroy. And he's now awaiting surgery without anesthesia. Sarah wrote, "How will his body heal when he has nothing to eat? How will his family endure this? Another threat, another grief." Her ask to all of us reading her words was that we revolt against any and all attempts at normalcy. Revolt so that this criminal, unsurvivable reality may end. So today I ask you, what will you do to revolt? What will you do so that Gaza may live? Let Gaza live!
Let Gaza live!
Let Gaza live!
Let Gaza live!
Thank you, Simone. We will not allow the world to continue to function smoothly. So in a moment, we are going to turn and walk over to Trump Tower to call on Trump and our Jewish community to stand against starvation and ethnic cleansing. Before we do that, we would like to invite everyone to take one action right now that can have an immediate impact, and that is raising money directly to feed Gaza. There are at least 1,000 people here, so if everyone gave just $10, we could raise $10,000 in minutes. You heard Rota say what a crate of vegetables costs. So I'm asking everyone here to take out your phones and go to one of two links. The first is innvmt.org/Gaza Soup Kitchen. Gaza Soup Kitchen. And the other link, NIF is also raising money for Clean Shelter and World Central Kitchen. That link is nif.org/feedgaza. nif.org/feedgaza. We're going to turn and walk towards Trump Tower, led by our safety team in the high-vis vests, to read just a small fraction of the names of those who have been killed and say the Mourner's Kaddish. This is the end of our permanent program, so please keep that in mind as we walk towards Trump Tower, especially if you're standing in the street. We are going to bring the banners around to the other side of the crowd, so don't move yet. Please let the banners go over there and get a head start. And once the banners